Hey guys, so we're here with a new shell today. We're going to play what I'm entitling Bitter Abzan. It's Abzan with Bitter Blossom and a more tokens-oriented shell. This hand looks pretty decent. Turn 3, Nissa, and Tassiger seem pretty good, so I'll keep this. Looks like some sort of burn, or nope, perhaps Delver. Lead off with a Heath. Pass. A little land heavy in the early stages of this game, but I think we just go for Temple Garden here. And then if we need black, we can just play the swamp we have in our hand. Scavenging Ooze. I like Scavenging Ooze. I'm not sure if I wanted to eat a removal spell, but I guess then that leaves Nissa more open so that she doesn't take as much damage from burn. So that's fine. We can play this Goose, because then if it dies, it feeds Tasker anyway. Spell Snare. So this is definitely blue-white-red control. Kind of a tricky matchup in the early stages, but a matchup I think that we're generally favored in. Inquisition. We're looking to take probably a Snapcaster or something like that here. Because like Path isn't that bad for us. One Bolt. Okay, so he's going to Mana Leak the Inquisition. And that's protecting probably a Snapcaster, would be my guess. Serum Visions. I'm not sure how Serum Vision stacks up against Ancestral Vision in this deck. I think both are good. They serve slightly different purposes, but we can go for an Overgrown Tomb here, I think, right? I suppose we go for the Godless Shrine too. It doesn't really matter. We have another fetch in hand and a forest, so. But I think I'll just go for the Godless Shrine. Alright. Play Inquisition. Depending on what we see here. Okay, so he's going to draw a card. I'll play it again. I'm okay with the slight loss of tempo. So 2 bolts and a path. The path doesn't bother me as much as the bolts, I think. I guess Tasker resolving is good though, but the double bolts are going to kill Tasker as well, whereas bolt won't quite kill Nissa. So I'll take a bolt. It's like I said, it's not my favorite play because this hand it was a well crafted hand in terms of 2 bolts kills the Tassiger, a bolt is most likely going to kill Nissa, and the path is going to kill Tasker as well. So I guess I could have taken the path and forced him to double to 2-for-1 himself by playing the bolts on the Tasker. But I feel like this is equally restricting for him. Lead off with Nissa. We'll just find basic plains here, because we can find a basic forest as well. Doesn't really matter, one or the other. Pay 2 for Tasigur, and exile 3, 4 to play Tasigur. And then we will pass. So if the Path to Exile happens, it's kind of not fun, but it does ramp us. It thins our library. So yeah, that's fine. Find the plains. Of course, we don't really need much ramping at this point. We're past the top end of our curve. Even Tasker we can play without exiling anything at this point. But we do know is that he's got a Lightning Bolt, a Spell Snare, and an Unknown in hand. We can Thought Seize. We start with a Thought Seize. See what he does to that. Another Path. Right now I'm not really playing a creature route, so Path doesn't bother me as much as Bolt. Let's take the Bolt. Go to 15. The reason I do that is because I don't have creatures on board aside from my tokens, and tokens are generally good against spot removal, whereas the Bolt can hit the Nissa after like a Colonnade Strike or something like that, which seems not fun. Don't really want to lose Nissa right now since she's my only real threat. Now here's a Siege Rhino, so that is vulnerable to the Path to Exile, but I suppose we could wait on the Rhino until we have sufficient spells in hand. Just play the Swamp for turn and pass. This way I don't overcommit to the board. Plus an ult from Nissa is going to be really good for us. He's got 4 cards in hand now. A Sorin. That seems good. Add counter. Another plant. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorin. Let's see if that resolves. Cryptic. Mana Leak? Snapcaster. Mana Leak. Remand. Okay. Okay, so that's a tempo play. We're hoping that it doesn't draw the Cryptic for it, but with 4 plant tokens and what looks like an imminent flip, or not flip, but ultimate of Nissa, I think that we're in a pretty healthy position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 cards. Just go ahead and block with a plant. Nissa protects herself very well against ground creatures, so okay. She's going to go to 4. That seems like the right play from my opponent. I don't know what the rest of his hand looks like, but I assume that he can't kill her, or he would have. Johnny. Alright. So this hand is shaping up to be quite good. I think we just play out Sorin again, though. Alright, so we'll set him to 4. We will add a counter to Nissa, make another plant, then add a counter to Sorin, pumping all the plants. I think we attack with 2 of them and leave 2 back. So next turn we went to a Johnny, and then probably pump team. Or I could plus and look for more threats. The card advantage would be pretty great on that. Since I do lack behind blue in terms of my draw power, but electrolyze. The tap ones? Yeah, there you go. Okay. I guess I probably should have played around electrolyze, but didn't. If I lose one of my walkers here, it's not the end of the world. But I'm not sure if playing it safe. If I exile it, then he's just going to have the colonnade. So I think that I'd rather lose Nissa to a bolt or a helix or whatever. Okay, so there's the land. Draw. Lingering Souls. Not a bad top deck. Add counter, create another plant. I still think a Johnny is the better play, but I guess that having Lingering Souls would provide blockers for the colonnade. And with a Sorin pump, they can kill the colonnade. That seems good. So we'll just do that. And I think we actually play both of them. Remand? Mana Leak. Alright, that makes sense. Add a counter to Sorin. Increase power. So yeah, I'm not going to be too upset if the Spirit token dies to kill the colonnade, because that leaves me to be able to path things that are more threatening, like potential Restoration Angel or whatever else Blue, White, Red is running at the moment. It depends on the build. Some are more aggressive, some aren't. But I certainly want to leave path for other things if I can. Because I have a continuous stream of creatures at the moment, whereas I don't have a continuous stream of path exiles. Alright, so we get by. Oops, these guys all got smaller. Alright, Abrupt Decay is a decent draw. Not terribly exciting, but not bad. Add a counter. I think we'd try to run out of Johnny here. If he's considering whether or not he should counter this, he should. Granted, I mean, he may not think of a Johnny as, because it doesn't see much play. Okay. But it's quite the card, and I'm not glad that he countered it for my purposes, but I'm glad that he countered it in terms of, you know, watching an actual match happen. If I had resolved the Ajani, it would be pretty detrimental to him. I think I can attack with one plant token. It's slow, but I think it gives me the ability to kind of get through damage a little bit, start getting the ball rolling in terms of hitting him for damage. I'm also a pretty grindy player in terms of I tend not to do extraordinary attacks. It's just not something that I generally do. But it's not to say I won't do it. But I generally prefer the slower, grindier game. Here, I think I'm going to ult Soren and -2 Nissa. Even though that does leave me vulnerable, or leave Nissa vulnerable to a bolt. Maybe that's not the right play. Maybe I do one more play of her plussing. Again, just being cautious. I don't want to get blown out and lose Nissa, since she's kind of what's winning the game for us right now. We just add counter, pump the team. Play a land. Start combat. Attack with 2 plants this time. Okay. So he electrolyzes the spirit tokens to get through with Colonnade, hopefully. At least that's what he's going for. And I'm going to sit back and try to path the exile the Colonnade in response to attacks. So I don't know which one he's going to attack. Most likely Nissa, because he can beat a Soren with Colonnade, but he can't beat this endless stream of creatures, it doesn't seem. See what he's got here. Okay. So he's just going to concede there, and that made a lot of sense to me. In terms of what I want to sideboard in this matchup, let's see. Anafenza keeps snaps in the yard, but that's not really pertinent here because he's not running Kolaghan's Command. So the Nihil Spells Bomb is good for shutting off the Snapcaster Mage. Celestial Purge maybe? Black or red permanent. He's not running any black. And the red permanents he's going to be running maybe Keranos. If I expect to see Keranos in this game, maybe bring it in. And Offensa doesn't do a terrible deal of work here. The timely enforcements give you 3. Yeah, 3. It's okay. Duress I definitely want. Choke I definitely want. And Leyline of the Void. This is just those 4. I think so. I think that's the right 4. And then what I board out is probably a Bitter Blossom, a Rhino to negate spot removal. Maybe another Blossom and an Abrupt Decay. Not too many things to decay in this one. Maybe I'll leave in the other Blossom. Take out 2 decays. That seems reasonable. Alright, so turn 1 Spell Bomb. Yeah, I can keep this. Not terribly excited by it, but it's not the worst hand I've ever seen. I would like to see another land in the opening stages of this. I played the Serum Visions, which is hopefully going to allow me. Well, I guess I wasn't really worried about resolving the Spell Bomb, so I take that back. It's silly. Play the Spell Bomb out and pass. So Eternal Witness in this matchup is pretty bomb in terms of what she does. She really just allows us to stay ahead by allowing us to use our graveyard, which isn't necessarily something that a traditional Abzan list generally does. I'm just going to go and take 3 here. Find an Overgrown Tomb. And play out Scavenging Ooze. If he counters this, and that's fine. Remand is fine. But if it were to go to my graveyard, then I could just Eternal Witness it back next turn. And that would help me to continue to pillage his graveyard, which is quite useful in this matchup. There's our Singleton Abrupt Decay now. We'll try to run out the Skoos again. Okay, so that's going to resolve. Pass turn is going to bolt it or something at the end of the turn. Bolt or Helix, which is always good for me. Nope, nothing there. So now we have a threat that's going to help take away his graveyard, which I like. I think we'll just start by attacking. Do I want... I think I just play out the choke. Okay. So we pass. Of course, this means that Skoos doesn't get to eat anything before it potentially dies. But I can E-Witness back choke, which is quite good. Play out Overgrown Tomb. Start combat attack. Alright, so we're getting there. In the second main, I think we'll play out Eternal Witness. See if each cryptics that or something. Alright, so our opponent's just going to concede there. We had the choke, and we had a lot of hate for him. I don't know what his hand looked like, but thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.